Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you got an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed. Today, I'm thrilled to have Jordan, the founder of Omnie Integrated Services, with us. And he's going to talk a little bit about his background and how he's helping the e-commerce industry revolutionizing the customer support using AI and automation. We'll be also talking about some of the latest trend in customer support and the advantage of outsourcing versus having an in-house customer support team, and how is their company's unique approach can really help the e-commerce business or toy businesses not only satisfy the customer, but also drive additional revenue. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today, Jordan.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jason. Excited to chat through all things customer service.
Let's start off with talking about why do you even start this company? to begin with, what was your background?
I've been in the customer service industry for over a decade, managed large teams globally on 5 different continents. And I noticed that the outsourcing industry was not keeping up with technology. They were simply providing phone and email support. And these large call centers typically share agents, or they're shared agents that work on multiple programs. So the experience was always poor. I think we've all had poor experiences with outsourced teams in the past. And so I saw an opportunity to run towards technology and provide an experience for customers and merchants that elevates the customer journey, reduces costs, and drives revenue growth. This was a foreign concept to the large call centers that have been around for decades. So when we first started years ago, we were supporting every industry, healthcare, finance, hospitality. And we found that when you cast a really wide net, your solution can be missing important features that each industry may require. We focused on e-commerce. It seemed like a natural fit for us. These businesses often run very lean, used to outsourcing other aspects of the business like logistics, marketing, website design. So why not customer support? And so our focus on e-commerce helps us ensure that our management team, our tools, and the entire program is perfect for e-commerce brands.
What year do you establish this business?
2020. So I've been in the industry a long time, working with similar companies, but Omni's been around for a little over 4 years.
Oh, so you started doing COVID. How was that? How was that?
Yeah. It actually was perfect because if you look at the number of Shopify stores opened during COVID, it was a massive increase. And with people working at home, it's tough to establish an office and hire team members when you're stuck in your home. So we were a great fit for brand new businesses that were ramping up, looking for a low-cost solution, and then they can focus on growing the business.
What kind of a recent trend that you have been noticing, especially in the e-commerce space, using customer services to drive additional revenue?
E-commerce is evolving rapidly, and customer service historically has been considered an expense. Businesses like it's a department that increases our expenses, but if it's strategically implemented, customer service is a revenue driver. Some really exciting trends I've noticed is personalization at scale. So customers expect personalized experiences. So not just large banner pop-ups on a store, but something that's a little more tailored to them. By leveraging data and AI, specifically e-commerce brands can tailor recommendations, offers based on individual preferences. So think of how Netflix recommends shows based on your viewing history. E-commerce brands can do the same with product recommendations, leading to higher conversion rates in AOV when they're that specific. And then customers want to interact with brands seamlessly across whatever channels they're comfortable with. So social media, chat, email, phone. whatever that might be. If a customer starts a conversation on Instagram and continues it through email, the service should be seamless. Companies like Zappos do a really great job at this. And this kind of positive experience can really...
Zappos is actually one of my favorite companies. You know why? Their previous CEO is also Taiwanese. He has the same last name as me, Tony Shea, same last name.
Yeah. They're known for fantastic customer service.
I was very sad when the CEO passed away. He was a really wonderful entrepreneur.
Yeah, really great. And chatbot can also be used to drive revenue. If you have limited hours for live support, AI can provide instant support and handle common queries, freeing up agents for more complex issues. So chatbots can assist with order tracking, product information, and even style recommendations when they're live on your site shopping.
This is something I was talking to some of my e-commerce entrepreneur friends. Some of my friends actually use Gorgeous, which is a pretty well-known customer support software.
Yeah, great partner of ours. Perfect for his e-commerce brands.
That's actually my next question. What software are you currently using when you help other e-commerce business with the customer support? Do you use Gorgeous?
Yeah, the Gorgeous is our preferred partner for any Shopify brand. A lot of competitors on the market, hundreds to choose from, and a lot of those CRM platforms, they cast a really wide net. They support every industry pretty well. Gorgeous, they're socialized e-commerce. So every tool, every feature that they release is perfect for Shopify customers. And their chatbot, their AI tools, fantastic. The best time to convert somebody that's on your site is while they're actively shopping. So if they have one question and they're close to purchasing and it's midnight on a Saturday, getting them a quick answer, whether it's through AI or through a human, will help them convert while they're actively shopping versus using a contact form. You get back to them on Monday and hope that they back to the site. And that's really important. Even just being quick on the responses can really drive revenue. And we track all of this through reporting. So you can see when a company...
That's actually a problem I have with Gorgeous. Some of their dashboard data is not accurate. Issue with the dashboard for the past couple of months.
Oh, no. We've always had great experiences with the reporting, especially the revenue reporting, where you can see when somebody chats with an agent and then goes on to make a purchase during that session, recorded as a conversion. So you can really see ROI by having a great customer service program quickly.
They rolled out a new dashboard a couple months ago, and that new one, our team couldn't get it to work. The numbers, it doesn't work. We need to switch to the old view, then it's working.
Help you with it. We've always had great experiences with the reporting.
One of the questions I have, now we just have this discussion. A lot of the people I work with, a lot of their revenue is predominantly on Amazon. They do a little bit on Shopify, but not that much. So my question is, how many tickets per month you think that the e-commerce entrepreneur need to have before they even consider to go to someone like you for like additional customer support? Because if they only have 10 tickets a month on Shopify, they can do it themselves, or just some other VA. They don't need a full-time person or a company like yours to take over that process yet. Do you have a recommended like a threshold for e-commerce businesses to even consider to hire a company like yours?
We work with brands of all sizes. So some of our programs are part-time agent, so a half an agent a day, so 4 hours a day we did, to some of our partners with 50, 60, 70 full-time agents. Where we typically partner with a brand is when they're scaling up and there's a lot of people working on tickets on the side of their desk. And then they're deciding whether they want to bring that in-house or outsource to experts, bring on technology and focus on growth. So that point where you decide to work with a customer service agency, it really depends on your time, right? I think once you have 20, 30 tickets a day, that's enough for a part-time agent of 20 hours a week. And that's a question we get a lot is, I'm doing this myself. I can do this in 3 hours, 4 hours a day myself. You can, but you're trying to run a business. Do you want to work in customer service, or do you want to focus that time on marketing and product development?
That's a very valid point, and that's actually a perfect segue to my next question. What are the key advantages of outsourcing the customer service compared to just maintaining it with an in-house team?
The first one is cost efficiency. Running an in-house team can be expensive due to salaries, benefits, training, infrastructure costs. So outsourcing, companies can save on these expenses. For instance, many businesses find that outsourcing to specialized service providers like us can save them up to 60%. And then they can allocate these resources, especially if they're growing, to other critical areas of the business. And then for us, a big one is scalability and flexibility, like we talked right before we started the podcast here. Yeah, the e-commerce businesses, 99% of our partners notice seasonal spikes, which can be difficult to manage in-house. Businesses need to fluctuate. So does the demand for customers. Outsourcing allows companies to scale support up really quickly. So September, October, our partners are calling us and saying, we need to increase the team size 50%, 100%. And then come mid-January, February, we can scale back with just a couple of weeks notice.
Yeah, because a lot of the customer Q4 is a big season for majority of the e-commerce businesses unless you sell like summer product. So
exactly. Yeah. And then outsourcing, aside from cost efficiency, it's also great when you have a partner like us who focuses on customer service, where we're the experts. We understand the technology, the AI, and the management of a team. Whereas the people that we work with are like business owners or product experts, right? They don't necessarily want to be in the weed of building AI. Like we talked about prior is multilingual support. So we can support any global language through phone and through digital channels as well, which can be tough.
You also have Japanese rep.
Yeah, we can support any global language. So through digital channels, we most often use automatic translation tools. Translate.com.
For a Japanese speaker, do you have a Japanese speaker on your team?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So for voice channel, we need native speakers because the AI, I don't feel is there yet for that.
Yeah.
And we're all about customer experience. We don't want to sacrifice the experience to save $1 on AI tools if they're not up to par. But for digital channels, yes, we can hire native speakers anywhere in the world. For a more cost-efficient approach on digital channels, we do have great translation tools that translate instantly both ways.
Can you give us some example on how you have done that before with other client of yours?
Yeah. Imagine this, you're browsing an online store and then suddenly live chat pops up with a spot on suggestion for you. So it's not just convenient, but it almost seems like somebody's actively there personally providing you that recommendation. We don't just stop at quick responses with customer service. We take it further with smart conversion campaigns through that live chat widget, which makes it different than a lot of the just general banner ads.
Can you monitor like time on page or like other stats on the website to decide when to open that chat window and have a more direct approach and just ask them, we can help and all that?
Exactly. So if you landed on a site and you get the pop-up that I'm here if you need something, this is 3 levels above that. So we use data like where the visitor is from, what they bought before, their cart value to craft hyper-personalized recommendations. So a few examples of this, we work with a UK-based shoe company. They sell internationally. So when a UK customer specifically adds shoes to their cart, the chat will pop up and say, it rains 170 days a year in the UK. Don't forget the shoe protection kit as well. And
I love that.
It's a good one. And then there's an add to cart button directly in the chat widget. So they can just add that. So that's personalization. Another couple campaigns you'd find really successful is when a customer is close to getting free shipping and they're in their cart. And we determine that they're exiting based on just being below the free shipping threshold. Chat pops up and says, hey, where are you going? Here's free shipping. And they'll gravitate back to convert. Since we're on the Toy Business podcast here, what we do with a toy brand of ours is they have bundles of toys. So when somebody adds a single toy to the cart, it'll pop up and recommend a bundle where that animal is included and try and get them to increase that order value. So with a recent partner that we onboarded, we saw over 35,000 in revenue in just the first month through really complex chat campaigns. Those are just some examples. So over and above just time on page.
It's super, like you say, hyper personalized, and also you sync it with the customer data. But how do you know who is who when they're just visiting and they are not logged in? IP or their email? Or you look at their IP. Okay.
Yeah, IP. So knowing who they are if they're not logged in, you're right, won't always be triggered. because they're not always logged in. Unless they're logging in to the checkout page and you have campaigns on the checkout page, we'll know then.
And maybe they can also tie that to the loyalty program. It's like, oh, you have quantity loyalty program with us. You can use it for the next order. Just trying to push them over the edge to maybe increase the car value as well.
Yeah, and you don't always need to give away discounts in order to convert visitors. We use this on a partner of ours. They sell pacifiers. And when somebody goes to leave the page, a crying baby pops out. And it says, relief is only a click away. We both have children. We don't want to see a baby crying. And we notice that customers gravitate towards the chat, ask the question, and then purchase after. So you don't always have to discount products in order to have success.
That's what creating marketing did. I guess one thing I concern with as a e-commerce business brand owner myself is when I outsource customer support, how can I still maintain the brand voice and also the quality of the brand standard with an outsourced solution? Because we all hear those nightmare stories. When you outsource, then the quality went to crap, and it's not at the same standard that the brand want to have when they outsource some of their part of their businesses. How do you ensure that the customer support that you assign to the brand can still maintain the brand voice and the same standard?
That's a crucial question, and what we hear quite often, especially with founders that are growing and they're nervous to have somebody else manage their customers. That's the lifeblood of their business. It's really important to them. So we hear this often. So maintaining brand voice and quality standards is essential for our partners. Every time we're onboarding, we do a deep dive into the brand. We understand their brand's unique voice, their values, and that's the foundation of delivering consistent, high quality support. We do in-depth workshops about their brand personality, values, and tones. And that's not just for the agent talking to customers. We also build this into the AI. The AI tool talks like the brand as well and can be very unique. It's not just template copy paste responses anymore. That AI, it can be unbranded as well. And then we only have dedicated agents. So not a shared pool. We work with a toy brand and a waste management company and a sock company. It's really hard to maintain unique brand tone when you're working with so many brands. And then that's where you get the really robotic copy paste responses. And then the product knowledge is there. The client knows who is working with their customers.
Yeah. And there's also context switching. Sometimes you need to do the context switching and when you're working with so many different companies.
And then we always make sure that the agent feels like an extension of our partner's team. So brand immersion is key. We encourage our agents to use the client's products or we purchase products from them wherever possible. And this is firsthand experience helps them better understand the customer's perspective and deliver more authentic and empathetic support. We go far beyond just answering calls and emails in a big office full of cubicles, which is hardly what you think of in these large call centers. We want to make sure that the interactions reflect the brand's voice and meet the highest quality standards.
How is your company currently leveraging AI and automation, particularly using ChatGPT or other AI tool to enhance the customer service experience?
Yeah, fascinating topic. I love this stuff. People ask me all the time, are you worried about AI? Because a lot of businesses in the BPO industry are running from automation. We're running towards it. So what we do is customers expecting quick, efficient responses. So AI can handle high volume of inquiries simultaneously. So customers are getting instant responses to common questions. And so very easy requests. Where's my order? Send me my tracking. That stuff is all really easy to handle by AI 24/7.
Yes.
And with ChatGPT specifically, AI responses are more personalized than ever. Even if a customer has asked previously about a specific topic, AI can tailor responses to reflect that interest, providing more engaging and relevant experience versus your classic article recommendations or templates.
So for you, AI, are you using, I know Gorgeous also are launching their own AI right now. Are you using their AI or you have your own AI?
Yeah, it depends on the program, but we are Gorgeous's AI transformation partner. So we are actively working with them on their AI tool. So like I said, they're a great partner of ours for help desk solutions, AI solutions, and they're poised to make big leaps in AI for the foreseeable future.
Majority of your services is email support, chat support. Do you also do inbound phone support as well?
Yeah. We can support any contact channel except Morse code and smoke signals. So your email, WhatsApp, Google My Business, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, we can support any channel. Social media, all that kind of stuff. I'm too old for TikTok, but the kids love TikTok, and we can support even the TikTok shop as well.
You can support while they are still here, and they will probably be here for a few more months. Here we go.
And then, just one more thing on how we're using AI is a lot of people think that AI needs to automate a response in full from beginning to end. That's not necessarily the case. It's a productivity tool in the end. It's there to support agents. So let's say for some of our more technical products, let's say the customer needs help with some basic troubleshooting. AI can help with conversational troubleshooting. And then if all else fails, escalate that to an expert. That's the way human agents focus on more complex issues. So when they get the ticket, the expert, they know that the basic troubleshooting has been done. They have everything they need in front of them to address the ticket and move on.
What other thing that you do as a company that set you apart in the industry? Because as we know, there's a lot of customer support company out there in the market.
So there's traditional hiring agencies that say, here's a bunch of people. Yes, you don't know them, you manage them, you train them, you deal with their turnover. So you're still pretty heavily involved in the customer service department. And then there are tech companies, software solutions like Gorgeous, the Zendesk, Intercom, Drift, all those guys. But then you're still responsible for building and maintaining and managing the platform. And you maybe don't have bandwidth for that or interested in doing that at all. So what we do is we're everything customer service under one roof. So we handle everything from implementation, training, management of CRM, the AI tools, but then we also recruit agents and manage the agents. We cover for any time off, sick days. So our partners can be as hands-on or as hands-off as they like. We have some partners that want to chat monthly. We have some partners that we haven't talked to in a year. They just say, Omni, you do the customer service, leave me alone. Here, one from my products. Yeah, which is perfect. That's
good.
What we want. We have a partner that e-commerce super busy during Q4. I had some questions for them. I couldn't get a hold of them in November and December, and in January, I said, "Is everything okay?" And he said, "Oh, I was skiing in Switzerland in the busiest time of year." And I said, "Oh, fantastic! I love it. It's busiest time of year. He's enjoying the time off." So I guess we're everything under one roof. So business is on growth in the end.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask this question. If you don't want to answer it, it's okay. Because elephant in the room, how much is it going to cost? Because as a business owner, especially e-commerce, we're running at very lean margin, especially if you're selling toy. We don't have that much margin for our toys. So how do you charge when, let's just say, if I'm going to you and say, "Oh, Jordan, I need some help with my customer support. I'd like to hire your team." What is all the cost involved?
Simply two costs. So there's an hourly cost for the agent, and that can be as low as $9, $10 an hour. But we can hire from any country in the world, depending on your requirements. So if you really want a posh British accent and you want to hire out of London, where they have 50 weeks of vacation a year, we can do that. That's a lot more expensive than hiring from, say, Canada, Mexico, Philippines, wherever that is. So the price varies by hour, but it can be under $10 an hour. And regardless of where that agent sits, the managers of the agent are located in North America, so they're on your time zone, and you don't have to worry about any issues with timing. Right. And then we have a cost per automated ticket. So any ticket that could be automated in full, there's a cost there and it's as low as 60 cents a ticket. So you have just the hourly cost for the agent. If you're interested in automation, totally optional, it's as low as 60 cents a ticket, which is about a sixth of the cost of having an agent handle. And we build and maintain all your support technology, all the AI, so it's constantly improving over time. But black and white is that no hidden costs, everything's month to month, no onboarding costs, no setup costs.
I see.
I've been in the BPO industry a long time, and there's always, a per minute cost here.
There's a lot of hidden costs, yes.
None of that. None of that.
I hear you. I see. Cool. And a selfish question, because I run multiple businesses. Besides the e-commerce business, I also run a digital marketing agency. Does your company consider also do and provide outbound sales in the future?
Yeah. We'll hire for any role. Since we're dedicated to a brand, what we do during the recruiting process is we take an agent profile from them. Most of the time, it's general customer service agent with experience in my industry.
I see.
We also get really unique requests for personal assistants. We had a request recently for someone to help monitor the CEO's fitness goals. We do is happy to do that because we're taking a job description, we're hiring just for that role, not a shared pool of agents.
Sure.
But yeah, we do have a few programs where we do BDR types outbound sale. But even data entry.
BDR.
Sorry?
How is the success rate with the BDR so far?
Well, like how many kind of meetings they're booking?
Yeah.
We don't have access necessarily to their metrics, but our customers are happy with their performance, but we're not always taking behind the scenes of how much revenue they're generating. But yeah, we have some successful programs and they keep adding team members. So I assume it's going well for them. We also hire unique kind of project manager roles, things like that as well. So we can really hire for any role.
Wrapping up today's interview, thank you so much again for sharing your story and your expertise in the customer support field. My last question is looking ahead, what do you see as the future of the customer services and the customer support in the e-commerce industry going forward?
I think the obvious one is the use of AI. We've been heavily automating support requests for years. It's just the technology's been super limited. We haven't always loved it. With the release of ChatGPT for the last year, the more personalized AI is what people are going to love moving forward. Traditionally, chatbots are reserved. People think of chatbots as live chat, but we implement these tools across all channels, including channels that see a majority of requests, which is email for our customers. And that's really the key. If only 10% of your customers use live chatbots, if they're just for chat, aren't going to see a ton of success. And what we find is pre-purchase questions come through chat most of the time. Post-purchase comes through email. And a lot of those questions are, where is my order? Give me my tracking. I want to return this item. Those are really easy to automate. And AI can handle these pretty well, but we can also develop really complex bot flows behind the scenes as well. But we also think that AI isn't going to support 100% of requests. There's always going to be a need for human agents for really serious issues. But more importantly, agents can now, instead of just trying to pump out as many tickets as possible, copy paste, here's your tracking, they can now focus on complex, emotional, and high stakes interactions. Like you focus on sales, converting site visitors, building genuine relationships versus just trying to pump out as many frequently asked question responses as possible. It's not that AI is going to take the jobs away. The agents are just going to be able to focus on more revenue generating, more genuine relationships.
I agree with that. I feel like AI is not going to take job away, but it's going to enhance each one's output. So instead of one person working one job, one person can do output of two person in the past. So it's either you adapt or you get eliminated. And that's how I look at it.
Worry less about having to get customers off the phone. Like when I visited call centers around the world, if you have 3.5 minutes to get the customer off the phone. Get them off the phone. When you're at 4 minutes, your supervisor is barking in your ear to end the call. That's not the kind of experience that we want to provide here. Our goal is to keep customers happy. If the customer wants to talk for 20 minutes on the phone, talk to them about their dog, whatever they want to talk about. But then you don't feel pressured to get them off the phone because you're not pressured to get tracking information and FAQs out. So you can actually just provide great customer experience without the pressure. And that's our culture here, is a good customer experience over volume.
Quality over quantity. That's very important for sure. How can people find you if they want to talk to you and your team?
You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email at jbrown@omniecsr.com. And so check out our website, OMNIE is the name here. And happy to chat with anybody that's looking for feedback on their customer service strategy, their AI tools. Happy to get on the phone and provide any feedback I can.
Sounds good. I'll make sure I put that in the show note. Thank you again for the audience for tuning in to this episode of Toy Business Unboxed. We hope you enjoy the conversation and find it insightful and inspiring. If you like what you heard, please make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you'll never miss an episode. We appreciate your support and love it if you could leave us an honest review and share the podcast with your friends or colleagues in the toy industry. For more resources, tips, and the latest update in the toy industry, please visit our website, www.toy-launch.com, and join the conversation and connect with us on social media using hashtag #ToyBusinessUnboxed. We would love to hear your feedback and suggestions for future episodes so I can bring more wonderful guests like Jordan today to bring you the latest AI technology in different aspects of the toy business. But until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, and keep bringing joy through toys. This is Jason Shea signing off from Toy Business Unboxed. See you in the next episode.